People forget, man. I don't care about these stupid. Yeah, I do not care about these Road FC guys. I don't care about Namsarai Bedbaya. I'm sorry that I am not gonna be freaking shouting from the rooftops about how excited I am for Donmar Fan. And I'm not afraid to admit that I've never heard of this Donmar Fan guy or half of these guys outside of Aaron Tao. I saw this guy in the Contender Series, right? I watch Contender Series. Cut that. No, I wasn't on Contender Series. I'd never seen him before. I don't know why I said that. I just blatantly lied. I thought I was onto something. No, they're all from Road FC. All these first 4 fights. We got 8 Road FC guys that have never fought in the UFC before. I think most of them are going to be boring because Road FC guys kind of suck. But I think Aaron Tyler's going to get it done by decision. I think it's pretty decent. This guy Aaron Tyler's pretty decent. You know. You'll forget, man, he beat Xiao Yin and Rio Turto. Don't know who either of those guys are. But he did have a nice scrap with Elijah Smith. I did watch that fight. It's the only fight I've seen of his. He had a good scrap with Elijah Smith, and having a good scrap with Elijah Smith has aged well. And that's his only loss. He's 11-1. Namsarai Bedbayar. He's 9-1, and his one loss is to Naimanjaro Tuem Temporal, which I'm pretty sure he's like brand new to the UFC. He might have had 1 or 2 fights. He's later on this card, so we'll find out if he's had fights or not. Anyways, Aaron Tao decision. And now, what about these guys? Do you guys care about the Road FC guys? No, there's not much tape on him. I don't have much to say about him. Lawrence Louis got a better looking record to me. Plus, he's Australian. Hey, if all I know about them is one guy's Australian, one guy's Chinese, I'm picking the Australian guy. Why? Because that's just better odds, right? It's just a fact. The Australian guys have really good MMA guys, right? And the Australian again, man, dude. Australia versus Eastern Asia on some of these, yeah, these prelims, and I'm picking Donmar Fan. Donmar Fan. I know it's not, dude. Doesn't it sound like fan would be a type of submission? Oh my god! Oh my days! He just hit him with an absolute that fucking Gorilla Fan submission was absolutely amazing. The way that he cranked that chin and just shoved his finger in there, absolutely amazing. Right, and doesn't he have like? He's got a few subs. I'm picking him by decision though. I don't know these Road FC guys, dude. They tend to not be very good. They tend to lose when they get to the UFC. So you know what? Donmar Fan submission. Let's go. He's got a weird name. So we like him. No, I'm already picking enough submissions. When it comes to these fights I don't know about, you kind of got to go off odds a little bit. Is this going to be a big submission card? I don't know. I already have a lot of submissions, so I'm not going to risk it for the biscuit. Well, honestly, I don't want to lose out on much XP. 153 is nothing. But 1,021, that's great. So my real prediction is Donmar Fan by decision. But I'm going to pick submission because I think it's likely. I can just see it in my brain. And also more verdict XP. And I think it's likely to happen, we got my boy Con Ofley versus Yeeja. You see this guy Yeeja, right? He kind of, he's all right. He KO Weston Wilson. That's cool. Man. He lost to Gabriel Santos. He was on Road FC. As I said, Road FC guys aren't that good. He's just not that good. He KO Weston Wilson. That's cool. He's got a little bit of hype. Because I'm pretty sure it was a pretty good highlight reel KO. From what I remember it being a great KO. But as I've said many times, my memory is that of a fly, right? Now, Con Ofley, he's pretty good, man. He got a standing rear naked choke over Ricardo Ramos. And his losses in the UFC, Muhammad Naimov and Marian Santos. Okay? This guy, he looks like the type of guy that's been in the UFC for years, but he's actually brand new. He's actually brand new, and he's 32 years old. So you can't really call him I wouldn't necessarily say he's a prospect. I mean, he might be a 32-year-old prospect, but it would be crazy. He's not Laurel Murphy out here, guys. Yeah, but he got killed by Marion Santos. No shame. Lost to Muhammad Naimov. No, it's not bad. But he got a standing rear naked choke of Ricardo Ramos. And I don't really think he uses all that great. And I think he can get subbed. I think Con Ofley can get a nice sub on him. Standing rear naked choke, that's not an easy feat, man. I mean, to be fair, Ricardo Ramos he's not all that, but I don't think he is either. I think Con Ofley is going to show that, that he is a submission specialist amongst outside the rankings featherweights. You know what I mean? Now we got Jonathan Mikhailov versus Oban Elliott. I kind of like Oban Elliott. Part of that is because Guru likes him, and I've kind of got a bias towards Guru because I like Guru. He gives a lot of good information, right? He's easily the best content creator in MMA. Definitely the best MMA YouTuber, and he gives a lot of good information and has good takes. He's a really hardcore fan, watches all the cards, knows a lot about the older cards as well, and he's got a lot of knowledge on the sport, and unlike me, he's got a great memory, right? He remembers crazy stuff. I unfortunately don't. I forget stuff like a week later. I can't even remember what happened on the last card, outside of the fact that the main event was one of the greatest fights I have ever seen. Basil Hafez. I know that's not how you say his name. I don't care. That was a good performance for sure. The Preston Parsons, Val Woodburn's an absolute can, so that win is void to me. I'm not trying to diss an Oban Elliott. I'm dissing on Val Woodburn. Sung Hyun KO showed to be a good prospect. I know Oban Elliott's going to need to wrestle, but even if he does wrestle, Mikhailev's got submissions. He's got submissions. He's got on Contender Series, he got a submission, right? Outside the UFC, it doesn't necessarily matter. Contender Series does. Recently, 2024, especially 2025 Contender Series, we've had some good guys. And on 2024 Contender Series, I think it's fair enough to say that we got some pretty talented guys. Mohamed Addo. I don't know if he's one of them. But he got a submission over a guy in Contender Series. That's something. I think he's probably got good grappling. Have I seen him fight before? Yes, I have. What am I talking about? The Kevin Doucette fight. I know I've seen it. I just don't remember it because I watched 312. I don't remember a lot about that card. It was a crap card. I remember him having a good performance, and I think I remember picking Kevin Doucette and then being like, oh, wow, Mikhailov is a good performance. I'm remembering it as I'm talking about it. That's kind of how my memory works. I don't remember, and then I talk about it, and little flashes start to come back. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to win by decision. I don't think Oban's going to be able to use the grappling, and I think even if he does, I think Mikhailov's got a bag on the ground. I think he's got a little bag of subs. I think, he's got some tricks up his sleeve, maybe. I think he's going to be able, but I think he's going to be able to keep it at range, on the feet, keep Oban away from him. Maybe he's got some crafties as well. We will see. Torres Finney versus Jacob Malcolm. Okay. There's a lot of people picking Jacob Malcolm. Freaking Lucas Tracy's picking Jacob Malcolm. That's terrible. That's a terrible pick, Lucas. Why are you picking Jacob Malcolm? He sucks. Okay, he doesn't suck. He'd be Andre Petrosky. That doesn't mean he's that great. Andre Petrosky, you can make the argument. I don't even know. Can you make the argument that he's a good UFC fighter? I don't know. I'll say he's decent. Andre Petrosky is decent. Jacob Malkoun is decent. He's decent. I'll give him that. He lost. That's void. That's It's a freaking... He got DQ'd against Cody Brundage. That's not a loss. This guy's inactive, so that's annoying, right? He hasn't fought in 2 years. And inactivity is not great for dudes. Tends to not be great. For WMA fighters, inactivity, a woman doesn't fight for 2 years, comes back, gets a submission, right? But this is men's MMA. If you're inactive, you come back and you suck. Right, losing to Brendan Allen, that's fine. Phil Hawes is fine. So his losses aren't bad. But the thing is, I have seen this man fight, and Jacob Malkoun is not good. He is not good. He's decent enough to be old man Andre Petrosky. I mean, I guess not that old. Andre wasn't a nice little win streak, 4-5, right? But one of them was... It wasn't really a good win streak, to be honest. Didn't beat anyone good. Torres Finney, he's 11-0. I know his UFC debut, it looked, it was terrible. From an entertainment standpoint, his butt was sticking out, and he was just hugging Valentin against the fence, but Valentin couldn't move. I know Valentin's crap. But to be able to just hold someone like that, I mean, this dude's got crazy strength, and he's got crazy explosiveness, too. He has KOs. Let's not forget that. He has KOs. He has submissions. He's been on Contender Series 3 times. 2 of them were finishes. He's got chokes. He's got KOs. He's got decisions. He's got, he's got a bag. He's got one. Most of his wins are by KO. He's pretty explosive. He's pretty athletic. This dude is thick. Probably on the sauce, right? Look at that freaking cranium. Dude, I haven't seen the likes of that since Kamaru Usman himself, and that is even bigger than Kamaru Usman. Look at that thing. Think you're going to be able to crack that? Absolutely not. You can't crack that head. No. You're not gonna get KO'd by Jacob Malkoun. He's not gonna get beat by Jacob Malkoun. He's gonna dominate however he wants. This isn't Robert Valentin, who's like shit but kind of weird, and Torres does make weird decisions. I will say that. He makes weird decisions. I think he could have finished Valentin. I really do. But he'll sometimes play it safe, weirdly like that, but he can finish. So I think if he wants to finish, he can. The safe pick is probably by decision, but I have faith in Torres Finney. His last fight it looked terrible, but Jacob Malkoun is not great. He's not great. Yeah, 3 losses. He got killed by Phil Hawes. Who will win between Torres Finney and Prime Phil Hawes? I have no fucking clue, and I don't care. What about submission? He has 1 submission. Most of his wins are by KO. Malkoun is chinnable. Torres is explosive. Maybe, I don't think Malkoun is, gonna be able to be held like Valentin. So I think that Finney will have to pull out more of his bag. I think Malkoun will force him to pull out his bag and force him to scrap a bit, and I think Finney's going to crack him bad. Explosive and athletic. Just going to come over like a goofy overhand. Whoosh! This freaking lunge forward, jump up in the air, hop up, and, throw a goofy overhand. He's going to throw an overhand in the same way that Buckley was throwing those terrible uppercuts in round 5 against Usman. Remember them? Those freaking skadooshes? That was horrendous. Yeah, I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna TKO. It might be a decision. I don't know. That's what I think's gonna happen. Cam Rowston is gonna KO Cody Brundage in round 1. I don't care what you say. You just KO'd. Oh fuck! Another guy that KO'd Andre Petrosky. I don't want to contradict myself. Okay, look, Cody Brundage sucks. He sucks. Torres Finney doesn't. Right. And Cam Rowston's KO over Petrosky was a lot better. It really was, man. And he looked really good, and he looked great. What was that voice crack? On the Contender Series as well, Cody Brundage is going to get put to sleep in round 1. Goodbye, Brundage. Goodbye from the UFC. You're 5-5 in the UFC. Please go. Please go. I'm sorry. I don't hate you as a person. I just hate you as a fighter. Junior Tafa. Why is he getting fed to Billy Alicana? Billy Alicana's going to do him similar to how he did Kevin Christians. Left him freaking flat out cold. Dude, why are they feeding... Billy Alicana isn't even a good prospect. Why are they treating him like he's a Dabe Gutierrez? What are they doing? First, they give him a... Okay. I know this is going to sound racist. They gave him an Indian dude in Kevin Christian. I'm racist against Indians. No, they're just not good at fighting. Indians in MMA never do well. Oh, he's not Indian. He's Brazilian, you dumbass. He's Indian Brazilian, dude. Look at his face. He's Indian Brazilian. There's lots of mix. There's lots of Brazilians. You got Brazilians, right? Charles Oliveira, Alex Pereira. You got the Black Zillions, Gelton Almeida. I'd say you had some Barbosi. Yeah. Freaking Anderson Silva. Of course. You've got the freaking French Zillions, right? Freaking Vicente Luque. You get the freaking point. Kevin Christian, not good. Everyone knew. It's like, yeah, why is he fighting Billy? Yeah, Billy subbed him easy. I think he's going to sub Tafa easy, too. I know Tafa, survived to round 2 against Tuco Tocos, but Tuco Tocos is sloppy and stuff. And, I know Billy, he had such a boring performance against Ivo Aslan. He held Bogdan Guskov down. He had dominant position on Bogdan Guskov for a whole round. Yeah, he got subbed in round 2, but he was controlling basically the entirety of round 1 and a decent portion of round 2, if I remember correctly. And I know Ivo Aslan isn't that great, but he also showed in that Ivo Aslan fight, he has the ability to chess match. He's got chess match ability. Junior Tafa doesn't have chess match ability. Even if it stays on the feet, I think Junior would get KO'd because he sucks. He sucks, and he shouldn't be at light heavyweight. He shouldn't have been at heavyweight. He's fat and out of shape, and he's 6-4. And at light, he should get cut after this. I'm sorry, but what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, he shouldn't even be a light heavyweight. His weight class is middleweight. It is. Him being fit, middleweight. But he can't be a middleweight because then, his skill would... the skill level, there's a big skill gap between middleweight and heavyweight. Middleweight's way more skilled. He just wouldn't be able to survive down there. So light heavyweight, for his size, middleweight's for him. But light heavyweight, man, he should have taken way more time. So, he's lost a decent amount of fat, but he's still not skinny fat. He's got muscle, but... he should just try and bulk up and just be, try to be a big and solid guy before he took a fight at light heavyweight. I don't think he's very smart in terms of career decisions. I don't think he's very smart as a fighter. I think he sucks. Oh, wow, he beat the late and great Parker Porter. He's getting subbed by Billy in round 1. I took way too long on those prelims, but anyways... Jamie Malarkey, I'm not even going to take time on this. Quinlan Salkild just knocked out Nasrat Haskarat, who has a win. Was it a robbery? I think it was a robbery win. I am getting way too disorganized with my sentences. Quinlan Salkild knocked out Nasrat Haskarat. Nasrat Haskarat got a decision win over Esteban Ribovics. I think it was a robbery. I think Esteban should have won, but it was a close fight, to be fair. Nasrat is a right outside the rankings type of fighter. Quinlan is also a right outside the rankings type of fighter. Had a crazy good KO. One of the best KOs I've ever seen in terms of pure shock value. But that's what a KO is, right? Just a one-shot head kick KO. Headshot dead, though. That was nuts. That was absolutely nuts. I love that in round 1. And Malarkey... Look. Malarkey isn't... terrible. He's losing to names I know. Ziam, Naimov, and Haskrat, but he's getting KO'd a lot. Naimov's KO'ing him. Haskrat is see. Haskrat KO'ing him, that's not a bad look. Same with Rufy KO'ing you. Same with Turner KO'ing you. But Quinlan beats Turner. Quinlan beat Haskrat. Quinlan beats Naimov. Quinlan probably beats Rufy. He's not beating Ziam, though. I'm sorry. Quinlan, my boy, you would not beat Ziam. You would not beat Ziam. I'm so high on Ziam, I wouldn't mind his chances against my boy Benoit Saint-Denis, man. I think Ziam beats quite a few top 10 opponents. If he fought Patty, I don't know who I'm picking. That's all I'm saying. There's unknowns when it comes to Ziam. That dude looks fucking sick. Insane fighter. Underrated. Might be a champ one day. Brad Rodelli. He's not terrible. He's beating Jai McDessie, man. And freaking Michael Johnson himself. Devontae Smith. He's beating, he's not beating good opponents. He's not beating decent opponents. He's beating guys that are bad, shit, alright. Michael Johnson's good when he feels like it. That's not even a joke. I wish it was. I would never say that about any other fighter. Oh, no, sorry. Charles Johnson as well. Tai Tuivasa getting chinned. I'm sorry, Aussies. Your boy's getting chinned by Tyson Teixeira. The Derek Lewis fight was an early stoppage. I don't care. He was grabbing the fence. Then take a freaking point from him. You don't stop the fight when the fight shouldn't be stopped. He grabbed the fence on the way up. Sure. Fine. He stood up and then he started leaning and grabbing the fence. So, he used the fence to stabilize himself. Yeah. Take a point for that. That is uncalled for, but you don't stop a fight for that. Because I feel like if he didn't grab it, then it would not have been stopped. And Talishman would have came back and KO'd Lewis. I do think he would have recovered for that. Yeah. I was picking Talishman to share in the Derek Lewis fight. If it wasn't for that stoppage, I think he would have came back and won. Call me delusional all you want. We both know Derek Lewis. We all know Derek Lewis ain't that good. We saw that. Tuivasa's not that good either. It's heavyweights. They suck. Talishman Teixeira, I don't think he sucks. I think he's fine. I think he's decent. I think he beats Tai Tuivasa. I think he KOs in round 1. I think Ty's got to retire. Leave the sport. And if he doesn't leave the sport, just lose some weight, Ty, please. Just get into shape. You're a UFC fighter. It's disgraceful for the sport, man. It really is. You are a UFC fighter and you look like that? I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but dude, get in shape. You're a UFC fighter. It shouldn't be hard. You should be training daily, motherfucker. Clean up your damn diet. You'll be a better fighter. Tai Tuivasa talking about he's trying to go on a title run. And you can't even get into shape. Barely can make 265. Get out of here. Rafael Fiziev is going to beat up on Rufi. Simple. Would I be surprised if Rufi won? Yes. Yes, I would. Now, do I think it's impossible for him to win? No. I see it. I'd still be surprised, but I see it. Man, we saw what Benoit did to Rufi. I think Benoit would beat Fiziev, to be fair. But we saw how Fiziev was able to have 2 close fights with Gaethje. Especially that first one. Razor close. Very close. One of the closest fights I've ever seen, perhaps. Definitely top 10 closest fights I've ever seen. Now, I think Rufi is going to get beat by him by decision. I think Rafael's going to craft it up. Kind of like, it's going to be damn near the exact same as a Bahamondes performance, only more grappling. A little more grappling oriented. He used quite a bit of grappling in the Bahamondes fight, but I think he's going to use even more in this fight. Because he knows about the weakness. Or maybe not. It is a different style matchup. He will use, I think he'll get 2 or 3 takedowns. He'll be 3 for 5 on takedowns or something like that. And I think Fiziev is going to be able to block them high kicks and spinning kicks and the weird scissors sweep shit that he tries to do and chop at them legs and counter with some shots over the top and batter his body and leg with kicks. I think he's gonna kick the crap out of him. I think Rufi's gonna have moments. Maybe there's one moment he lands a spinning wheel kick and Fiziev kind of laughs and then kind of points his finger at him and shakes his hand no or shakes his finger, right? Anyways, he's winning the decision, and my boy Benoit, what do I think he's gonna do? I have talked about this in multiple videos, not related to this matchup. So you already know my feelings about this. You probably don't, because my videos are shit, and I probably don't have an audience. It's probably different people watching my videos just about every time, outside of the buddies from my gym that occasionally watch my content. I think Benoit's going to sub him. I think Hooker is kind of... I almost said he's kind of shit. I don't know why I was about to say that. He's not. He's ranked. He's great. He's 24-13. But, losing Like, he's not losing to guys that are bad. No, he's losing to elite guys. Right? Especially, in his prime. His prime, this is his prime. This is his prime right here. Last 5 years. This is his prime. Pre-Felder fight is not prime Hooker in my opinion. And Hooker is reached a point in his prime where he was like, there's a fighter's prime, and then it's like, ooh, like they're like at the peak, at the pinnacle of their prime. That was the Gamrot fight. When he came back after the layoff, it was like, oh, he looked good in the Gamrot fight. He lost the Gamrot fight. I will die on that hill. It was a robbery. Gamrot won. Then he got beat the shit out of by Sarukian, but who wouldn't, Who want to get beat up by Sarukian? Oh, well, actually, the Charles fight was a split decision. Whoever scored that fight for Charles, I don't think they were paying attention. Submission attempts don't win you a round. If the other guy's doing damage and controlling you a bunch, submission attempts don't win a round. They don't. If that's, the only, big success you're having, that doesn't win a round. He did win round 1, though, because he did have, control and ground and pound, all that good stuff. And, submission attempt does play a factor. That's because he also had the other stuff. But in the other 2 rounds, you just can't argue. Hooker won him. Sarukian won him. But Hooker didn't win a second of the Sarukian fight. He landed, 3... Okay, maybe not 3 strikes. Maybe 13. No, not even that. Probably 8 strikes, 8 out of 20 or something like that. Hooker got battered the fuck out of it by him, man. And I think Benoit is an elite grappler, and I think he's going to get him down and sub him. I don't think Hooker's jiu-jitsu is that good. I don't think his wrestling defense is that good either. I don't think it's that good either. Oh, but Gamrot, as much as I love my boy Gamrot, okay. No, I like Gamrot. I don't love him. I don't know. It's funny to even try and attempt to say that. Gamrot doesn't have that great of wrestling. But he's a wrestler. He's a smudger. He's a piece of gum. He sticks to you. He's not that great of a wrestler, guys. I know Dan Hooker's takedown defense has improved, but let's be honest. Benoit is a better grappler than Hooker. The Moicano fight, that is a 1 in a million type of fight, and Benoit is one of those guys that can just that's a 1 in a million type of fight. And I don't feel like explaining that anymore. I know I'm kind of coping about the Renato fight. I don't want to waste too much time on it, but I think Benoit's going to be subbing Hooker with a relative ease. Not as easy as the Rufi fight. I think that it's going to be a scrap in round 1. Kind of like Poirier, Benoit round 1. I don't think Benoit's going to 10-8 Hooker like he 10-8'd Benoit, Dustin. Oh, that's what people forget. People forget that round 1 of Benoit versus Dustin happened. People forget that Dustin Poirier got knocked down, right? I'm not retarded. He got knocked down, didn't he? And he got controlled a bunch, and he got 10-8'd. Unless I'm stupid, I'm pretty sure Dustin got 10-8'd and molly-whopped in round 1 by Benoit. Damn, I have 600 XP on Lopez. Damn, I'm keeping that. 4,000? Yes, please. Yes, please. What about the odds on... Ooh, I should put some more on this. I have him by sub. Ooh, I forgot to say that I have him by sub instead of KO. Yeah, Sal Kill has a lot of good subs in his career. 3, but he's only got 10 fights. He only got 10 fights. Well, that stat's not even right. It's freaking verdict. They get shit wrong. But, he's got submissions in his career, and I could see a club and sub. Club and sub, man. Knock him down, sub him. Sawkill's that type of guy. I feel like he's also the type of guy to, impress people. Be like, oh, I can't just knock someone out. I can sub him. I can, beat the crap out of him. Be a decision. I can do everything, right? And then, give him a ranked matchup after this, and yeah. Yeah, I think Sal Kill is smart, and he knows what he needs to do. Not saying he needs to sub him, but I think he fights to impress. And so far, he has done so. So I trust in him to continue to do so. Because that will be more impressive than KOing him, because he's already done that before. Let's see something different. Let's sub him. We know you can. You can sub Jamie Malarkey. Let's do it. Anyways, I know Lopez can KO Volkanovski. I know Volkanovski can beat him by decision because I already saw him do it. But here's the thing. Volk is old. Volk, meaning, he is 37 years old. He's constantly deteriorating. In the first Lopez fight, that was not a prime Volk. I know Joe Rogan wants to convince you, this is a vintage Volk. No, he looks slow. He looks slow and he's on the back foot way more than usual. And he just looks old physically. Not saying out of shape. No. Don't mistake that for... No, he looked in great shape. In fact, as he's gotten older, he looks like leaner. He looks leaner. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's better physically. He looks better, Don't be gay. Just because he looks leaner doesn't mean he's, just because he's more vascular doesn't mean he's a better fighter. No, he's worse. He's worse. He's still very elite. He's still the fucking champ. And he'd still beat Lerone Murphy, but he's not beating Diego Lopez. I can't say things like that. I can't be like, this guy's definitely gonna win. If it's a fight like this. It's a championship fight. And Volk is literally one of the GOATs. Top 3 GOAT, no doubt. If you disagree, battle me in the comments. I think Lopez is gonna get him. I think he's just gonna get him. And I think Volk, I don't think he's gonna be able to get dropped and take it. I think the last time it was kind of a war. People act like the fight was way more dominant than it was. We saw round 2 happened. Round 4 happened. We saw that. I still think Volk won round 2, but I'm bringing up round 2 because he got knocked down bad. But he was outlanding Lopez by a lot. If this goes to scorecards, it's going Volk's way. Honestly, that would be the most impressive path to victory for Lopez. If he beat Volk by a decision, that'd be insane. Only person who's ever... I don't care if Volk keeps fighting for 5, 6 more fights. No one is ever going to beat Volk by decision again. The only person with that capability is to go to the Sport Islam Makhachev. Yeah! Oh, yeah! But I think that my dog is being very annoying. Right? And Lopez is going to get a KO. He has the ability. He got the best finishing instincts in the division. We saw what he did to Gene Silva. Oh, well, Gene Silva rushed in. He was asking for it. Watch round 1. Was Gene Silva asking to get battered the living shit out of on the ground? No, he wasn't. Volk's got to watch out for them takedowns. It's a washed, kind of washed version of Volk. When I say washed, I'm not talking, he's not as washed as Tony Ferguson. He's not as washed as like an Izzy. No, I can't even say washed because he's still championship level. He's just past his prime enough to be able to get finished by a guy like Lopez. He's got some of the best finishing instincts in featherweight history. Second best next to Ilya. Arguably third best. Okay, we'll say third best next to Conor. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. He's top 5 best finishing instincts in featherweight history. Probably top 3. Right. Oh, but Jeremy Stevens, when I knock people out, they don't fucking move. I don't care. They're not freaking... They don't look like the same person when Lopez is finished with them. So, there you go. He's going to KO Volk. Volk is going to lean his head back like he did in the first fight. And I think Lopez is going to be able to find takedown entries. I think he's going to make the necessary adjustments. He looked fantastic in the Gene Silva fight. He looked very calm and reserved. And, and the difference is, he doesn't have to worry about Volk KOing him. He doesn't. If he wants to, he can turn it up. If they start scrapping in the pocket and Lopez is trying to KO him, he will. He will. But I don't think Volk is going to, I don't really think Volk is going to try and scrap even as much as he did in the first fight. I think Lopez is going to have to force it, but I think he can. I think Lopez can do it. I think Lopez can utilize the takedowns, make the grappling a threat. Mix it the fuck up. Throw some spinning elbows. Throw some spinning back. Use his entire arsenal. He didn't use his entire arsenal against Volk the first time. We saw him use it against Gene. We saw him get crafty. And I know, different stylistic matchup. It's different when you got a guy rushing at you like that. But I think Lopez learned from that he can do those things, and he's good at it, and he can do it at an elite level. And I think he is going to find the ways to utilize those against a guy like Volk. So that's my predictions. This is kind of a stat card. By the way, last weekend's card, most viewed card of all time, according to my buddy, who's kind of a casual. He's not a casual. It's one of my gym buddies. You don't care. Ooh. I'm going to submit some of my verdict picks. I got some business to attend to.